Welcome back to my channel, guys. It's me, Irvin, with another light novel review, and this is going to be on Lord of Goblins Volume 2. First of all, guys, I want to thank Moonquill for sending me the first volume and the second volume. Where is the first volume? Here you go. This is the first volume, and I already reviewed the first one. If you guys haven't seen my review on this one, go check it out. It's I probably going to speak a little bit more detail of the story on the first volume, just because I don't want to ruin the story for you guys on this one. But Moonquill is a great company that is doing light novels that are not maybe per se in created in Japan. So the authors is and I hope I don't mispronounce their names, Michelle Werbrook and Haiti Bendakji. And these, from my understanding, they had another cover for the first volume, and then Moonquill kind of gave them a fresh look. Very representing to how, light novels look, with the number on the top and stuff like that. So I've never seen the other cover, to be honest. I just heard it from another person online that was commenting with me. So I really didn't know that. A few other things that I liked about the story itself from Volume 1. You guys can see that video, but it's really how they've taken the isekai genre and kind of played with it a little bit more in a different way when it comes to the actual main character. Now, I'll talk more about it in this video. But before anything, guys, if you have not done so by now, subscribe to my channel. There is a giveaway. You guys can check all that out in my channel. That is exclusively for those who are subscribed. If you guys want to support Moonquill, I will leave links in the description below. Go check them out. Buy these volumes from them. They have volume, I believe, 1 and 2 out for sure, and then I believe they have the audiobook for 1. I don't think they have the audiobook for 2. I actually read this one myself, because back when I started, they didn't have the audiobook. So anyways, guys, the links will be in the description below, so make sure you check them out. So let's start with the review. Volume 2 gets a little bit more intense. I will say they kind of give a more humane side to our protagonist, Liv. He's definitely a little bit more of well, he's not as perfect. There's a lot of easy guys where the main character is perfect, right? They make the perfect decisions, they make the perfect moves, and he just outwits everyone in the series, which kind of is what you feel in the first volume. But in the second volume, you kind of get a little bit more of humane side of it. Now, the volume itself starts with a glossary, which you don't typically get a lot in light novels, especially not in volume 2. But I think the reason you get this is because there's just so many characters. Now, you get kind of a main glossary here of the main characters, with a little bit of their information, but then you get an actual written glossary for about, I don't know, 3, 4, 5. 5 pages. Sorry, 6 pages of just characters and their backgrounds. What it is all about, what they're doing in the actual story. So, personally, I enjoyed that we received that information, because you would read the story, and it just felt like there's so many characters being introduced. At the end of the day, it's just very helpful when so many characters are introduced and you just don't know what each one is doing after a while. That could be a good and a bad thing. Personally, I do enjoy the fact that they are building this world, and each character is, for at least the author, is meaningful. On the other hand, I do think that when you build such a big world, and it's not a well known series, let's say like that, then you start losing interest in certain characters that maybe you shouldn't lose interest in, right? So I think there still should be like a higher tier and then a medium tier and then the lower tier of when it comes to characters. Even if you want to give that background story for each one and give them some depth for each one, with stories like this one at least, if you're talking about fandoms like Star Wars and stuff like that, where they have a lot of movies, a lot of books, then yeah, maybe. But we're talking about this story that has 2 volumes. I think up to now, we might be to a point where we have a little bit too many characters. But like I said, personally, as a I don't want to say veteran reader, but I read a lot. Personally, I myself enjoy it, but I know other people may not. I will say this series are easy reads. The chapters are pretty short, where you can read 1, 2, 3 chapters, or just read one chapter and feel like you can put a bookmark and come back to it. Whereas some mangas, in comparison, they'll be the same size, but they'll have like 4 chapters in the entire in the entire light novel. And each chapter will be like 120 pages, which again, it's up to the author, but at the same time, it's difficult to find a place to kind of bookmark it at times. So I think this one has like 24 chapters, which that's a pretty big thing. The story in this volume itself follows again Liv. Liv is a politician that was isekai'd, and we see a little bit more of his story in this volume, which I do enjoy that. We also see a little bit more of that fight that he has with the goblin that he's sharing the body with. Typically in isekais, when the person is isekai'd, he takes over completely of the body, mind, and soul of the thing or person they take over. Not in this case. In this case, it's still that fight of what is right and what is wrong. We also learn more about the world and just how it works politically. Really, a lot of it is politics. We're gonna do this. This is my ally. This is my enemy. Oh, now you're my ally, kind of deal. Which is fun. You don't see that in a lot of isekais. Personally, I think we see that because of the character himself. He's a politician, so a lot of it is him trying to convince people to do what he thinks is the right thing to do. Right. And there's also him learning uh, the damage that's been done to the goblins, but also how the world itself works. And as a reader, obviously that helps, because then we're also learning the story through his eyes as well. And overall, it does a good job. Now, I will say the chapters where it flashbacks to a story, they're a little bit random, but they do help his character build up, and they are placed in a spot where, personally, if you're tired of all the politics, it gives you a good break from that, and gives you a little understanding of where he's coming from and what he's going to do in the rest of the volume. I would say, from both first and second volume, I would say the second volume, for me at least, had a lot more information and moved a lot quicker, personally, and I enjoyed that. Whereas volume one didn't. And I'm not sure if quickness is a good thing or a bad thing. Some people would debate that quickness might be a bad thing, but personally, I think Volume 2 moved quicker because it didn't have to explain so many things of the world, whereas Volume 1, in most isekai typical instance, is that you have to explain where he's at, what he's doing, who the people are, everything, even the environment. So, Volume Two did move quicker for in my point of view, and I personally did enjoy that. Overall, guys, it's a great isekai. It takes a different look into the genre of isekai, in the sense of the type of character and how the character actually lives his life in this world. Personally, I do recommend it. I will rate this one at a 7.5 out of 10. I think that is what it deserves. That's a pretty high rating for my channel, at least. So 7.5, I think, is worthy for you guys to go and check them out. Again, the links will be in the description below, so go give some love to Moonquill. Check out Volume 2 and 1. Again, 1 is available through, I think, Audible, but you guys can buy both physical copies through their websites. I'll leave the links down there below. Give some love to them. Thank you so much again for the copies, and guys, like always, don't be strangers. Oh, comment, like, and share.